everyone, this is Dave, and today's video we're going to be reviewing the third shot in different scenarios. I think this is very important, especially for beginners, advanced beginners, even intermediate actually, to start to recognize what shot you should make when you're conducting your third shot, whether that's a drive or a drop. And we're going to focus on drives and drops specifically today, and in what scenarios you should be executing those shots. So we're going to look at different scenarios here today and review why the shot that these players are taking are the right ones. So let's look at this first third shot clip, and we're going to play it, and then I'm going to go back and review it. Okay, so this is probably your most basic third shot right here, which is a third shot drop. When the ball is deep, or when the ball even is short, doesn't really matter. If the ball is below the net particularly, but if the ball is below your waist, you shouldn't really drive this ball. This ball should always be, I shouldn't say always, the majority of the time be dropped. Because if this player drives this ball, he has to hit up and put a lot of topspin on this ball. And if you're hitting this ball up, that means their opponents will hit the ball down, and you don't want to have to be in a situation where you're putting yourself on the defense right away. Instead, this is a strategic play where although he's not hitting it hard, he's controlling the point, because when it comes over, the other player, which happens to be me, has to hit up, and since I can't hit it hard, I have to hit a short shot back. Okay? So when you're faced with this particular shot, when you serve the ball, when the ball is returned low, when it does not have a big bounce, the majority of the time in this situation, you want to drop the ball. The next point here we'll look at, and so I'm serving the ball is coming low but short. In the first clip, the ball was returned low and deep. This one, the ball is low and short. As I mentioned prior, even though it's short, I'm not driving this, because if I try to drive this ball, hit it hard, I'm either going to hit it out, or the opponent's going to have an easy smash down at me, at my feet. And I'm giving up control. I don't want to give up control on this point. So I'm going to give myself a drop shot to move up, and now we're neutral. We're at the kitchen line, we're neutral. Okay? My goal here in the transition, moving up to the kitchen, is not to win the point here. My goal and my partner's goal, after we serve this ball, our goal is to get to the kitchen line. So how are we going to fulfill that goal? How are we going to fulfill that goal of getting to the kitchen line in an efficient way while staying in control and not giving our opponents an attackable ball? Well, it's the drop, a soft drop to give us time to move in. Not only can we start moving in when that ball is in the air like we're doing, but we can continue to move in as it's being hit because he's hitting up. That gives us even more time to get to the kitchen. Okay? So whether the ball is low and deep, as in this example, or low and return short, I still, because it's below my hips, below my belly button, below the net, or however you want to gauge that, the right play is to drop this and move into the kitchen. Okay? The third, before I play this, so those first two were drops. They were drops because the ball was low, below your waist. Okay? This is a situation we're going to see where the ball is higher. And watch what this player does. So this is called, before I say what it's called, so this ball was higher, and he's driving that ball. This is a right play. He's driving the ball. So, and just to be clear, he's not driving the ball to hit a winner here. He's driving the ball to get a shorter fifth shot drop. Again, our goal is not to win the point back here. We're playing defense back here. Our goal is to set up our shots so that we stay in control. We're giving an unattackable ball. That ball's low over the net. And now our fifth shot is an easier drop so that they can come into the kitchen as they did. So if this ball, so he has an option here. When the ball is high, you have options. He could have easily dropped this ball or driven it, but he has the option. So you don't have to drive it if it's at your waist or higher, but it will give you an opportunity to get a defensive shot back from your opponents. The ball's going to come shorter, and look at that. It's a simpler, easier drop, right? We'll be more consistent. We'll have less errors when we have a shorter drop, just like that. So let's call it a drive and drop combo. It's done often. It's a great play. And there you go. The next is this drive. Okay. So what's happening in this scenario is if you get a return that's short and high, look how high that ball is. It's at my waist, a little bit higher. You should be driving this ball. Okay. Driving that ball, because that's usually going to end up in a pop-up or an error because we're so close. Now, the player on the other side handled this drive really well and reset it back in the middle there and sent it back an unattackable ball. So he did a really good job there. But you got to take advantage of these short returns. There's no reason for me to have this high ball and not be offensive with it. So could I have dropped this ball into the kitchen? Sure. But I'm giving up an offensive opportunity right here. This is a mistake. I don't want my opponents to get away with their mistakes. If I drop this and not drive it, I'm giving them an out. Okay, we want to take advantage of these opportunities and punish those short, high returns. Okay, that's just an illustrative scenario. So if you get a short, high return, we want to punish that ball and drive it like I did there. Okay, the last one we'll see here. Okay, we'll stop it right there. This last example is a deep return, and I do a drop from back there. Now, there's some people who say you should drive, if the ball is deep like this, that you should drive this ball and not drop. I don't agree with that. The reason why I don't agree with that, unless you have an absolute cannon of a forehand drive, which is going to lead to a reset by the opponents, then yeah, maybe. But I got a pretty hard drive, but even it's not overwhelming, but even myself, that is a long distance to hit that drive and make it offensive, right? Because we're in a defensive position, and even drives can be defensive. But my point is, if there's been plenty of times, and learn through experience, when I drive this ball, look how far back I am, and look at all the court in front of me. Okay? All this court in front of me, my opponents can hit an angled shot, an angled low shot, and I won't be able to come up to I won't be able to retrieve it. So instead, I opt here, and which I usually do because I'm confident in my drop, I opt to drop this. Why? Because you might think it's slower, right? They have more of a chance to actually do something with it, but they don't. So instead of them getting a hard drive that they can put away on an angle, I'm forcing them to hit up. And generally speaking, when I hit this ball, now my forward momentum is going forward. It's really tough for them to take the shot and be offensive with it. Even if they do a little dink, I'm going to be able to get up to the kitchen line and retrieve it. So that's a wrong play. So I'm almost, because that's the wrong play for him to dink it over right here, because you don't want me to come up, the only play he has is to try to keep me back. And I'm okay with that because now I'm further up a little bit. And again, I'm confident with my drop. Actually, this is a really good shot by him to make me go backwards. But I'm confident with my drop. I do another drop. Okay. Now I'm coming up. Now he can't hit it as high because I'm coming up. So I'm giving myself and my partner time to come up. Let's watch it here. And then another drop. And now we're up to the kitchen. So one more time with this one. So even though it was a very good return, I didn't drive. I dropped it, knowing for those reasons I just stated that he has to hit it back to me, try to keep me back. And because it's low, he can't be aggressive with this shot. So I'm still comfortable. I'm still in control. I'm still calm. And I make another drop. He has to hit the next one because it was a good drop, and I'm coming up. He can't hit that too high, so he's got to hit this shorter. If he hits it too high, then I'm going to come in and smash it. So he has to hit it shorter. The next one's a good drop again. Again, he's hitting up. He can't be offensive from down there, and that's why I come all the way. So he has to hit it short again, and then I can come up to the net. So I hope this was helpful to see the different examples and varieties of a third shot. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a good day.